There's so much reflection on hair. Just come here a little bit. Get more lighting. Hi guys, good evening. How are you? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ochiko. Thank you for hanging around. I just wanted to, introduce myself again. I am a teacher by profession. I teach chemistry, I teach science, and I decided to set up a journaling challenge to help you take control of your emotions. So thank you so much for coming on here. I appreciate it. The whole idea of these sessions is to give you time to control your emotions, or more like connect with yourself and have space outside of the world. People have come from work, life is busy, especially here in the UK. I don't know where you are or when you are. Hello, it's 6:30 p.m. our time. And these are some tools that I have used in my day-to-day living that have really helped me to navigate the pressures of growing up in this crazy world that we do. So today, I was gonna jump straight in and start the journaling prompts, but then I was thinking, do you know what, actually? I wanted to give people a bit more time. I feel like starting the journaling prompts today would have been, hello, welcome to my channel, Fitness and Lifestyle. Oh my god, I'm so happy you're here. Please give my live stream a like while I let you know what we're doing today. So the whole reason for the session, the challenge, is to give you space and time to connect with yourself, to engage your emotions, to really try and start to the process of understanding what happens in here. However, I felt starting today would be too abrupt. Okay, I'm gonna ease us into the process, and maybe we're gonna start on Friday. That's one reason. Secondly, on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. I've got an engagement, so I probably will do a live session later in the evening. Hello, thank you so much for coming. So today we're just gonna look at how the mind works, okay? So the whole reason I decided to do this challenge is because, as I said in the other videos, it's been really helpful for me, and we're going to be focusing on 3 fruits of the Spirit. As I said before, I'm Christian, and it's going to influence what we discuss. You don't have to be Christian to participate in it. If you are Christian, that's great. Hi, thank you for coming along. If you are Christian or inspired to ask more questions, please feel free to drop comments in the chat box. I'll get to them as we go. But there is a scripture in the Bible, which is what Christians believe, in Galatians 5, and it talks about the fruits of the Spirit, and it lists love, joy, peace, gentleness, kindness, self-control. It goes on to list things, about 7 or 8 of them, but the 3 that I wanted to focus on for this challenge is love, joy, and peace. Okay, so those are the 3, and we're gonna create a system that is, one, sustainable, where we begin to see those fruits of the Spirit begin to grow in our lives. Okay, and it gives us some sort of, I don't want to say control, but some sort of understanding of our placement within ourselves, and how we fit into the world, and gives us the ability to be responsible of what we can actually control, because there's a lot in the world that we cannot control. There is so much that goes on that we have no control over, and this tool is supposed to aid you. But then I realized if I started the journaling session, there'll be so many things that I might be speaking about that you don't understand. So in teaching, there's something we call prior learning. So I need to be able to assess what you already know, or at least give you some of the building blocks for what we're going to be doing today, or doing in the challenge. So today, again, thank you so much for hanging about. I've broken it down. I think you can see we're going to do welcome. I think we've done that. I welcomed you here. Again, thank you so much for staying. I really hope you find it useful. I think you will. Now we're going to be looking at the nerves. You know, I've called the topic the mind. I don't even feel remotely qualified to tackle. This is such a big concept. So we're just going to touch on a tiny little bit, okay? Some physiology, some anatomy of how it might work. So in that, I've broken it down into nerves, neurotransmitters. I'm going to do some reflection afterwards. I know you didn't come to YouTube for a lesson, for work, but you can just sit down and chill. You don't have to, you can just listen and take it all in, okay? So I've got a diagram here. As I said, I'm a science teacher. This is called a neuron, okay? So it's a cell. And if you remember back when you've done science, cells are the building blocks in which we're made of. So in every human being, we've got loads and loads of cells. We've got brain cells, eye cells, skin cells, etc. Now in the brain and in the nervous system, we have thousands of these guys hanging about. They're the ones that form our nervous system. So this is one nerve cell. The reason why I've drawn it is because I wanted to show you some interesting features about it. If you have a look, it kind of looks like a tree, doesn't it? And these will be maybe the roots, okay? And has kind of like branches. I think that's quite interesting actually. So what happens in the brain and in the spinal cord? You have loads of these that are networked together. So technically you'll never find one like this. You'll have another one that is spiraling off here, attaching off this way as well. And they kind of interlink together and they form a network, okay? Their job, their primary job, is to transmit brain signals. So they're basically how we think. So for me to be able to speak now, it means my brain is transmitting signals, okay, in different pathways for me to coordinate my thoughts and for me to be able to speak to you. So they're quite very important in how the mind works, okay? Now these little blue dots, I've used them to signify neurotransmitters. They're what we call chemical messengers, if you like. They're slightly different from hormones, but we're going to come on to hormones a little bit. Now, these chemical transmitters are present around some of the neurons, okay? So what happens is when you have a little thought in your mind, loads of these, or your body needs to regulate something in your body, loads of these neurotransmitters gather around the ends of the neuron or nerve cell, and they attach themselves to the end. I'm not going to go too technical into the term, but you can think about it like a junction, right? Like a meeting place. It's almost like they're greeting each other. And they're usually made to fit together, right? They're complementary, they fit each other. And when it attacks, what happens then is there's some chemical reactions that are going to go on here, and that's going to trigger what we call a nerve impulse, okay? And it's going to travel down. Now, when it gets to this end, it's going to release more neurotransmitters. That's going to attach to another nerve cell, and that process carries on. Now, why is this important to the session? What kind of signal is being passed down depends on your thoughts and the neurotransmitters that are being passed down. This is a little bit of pseudoscience, and there's a bit of psychology into it, but you can do more research. So when you think good thoughts, when you're happy, the neurotransmitters that are released are specific, and they begin to flood the cells that transmit signals down here, and all of a sudden you might feel happier. So it's almost like a loop. You're creating a bit of a cycle, okay? So you think a happy thought, that releases neurotransmitters that are happy, it sends signals down, and all of a sudden you feel happy, okay? We're going to do just a little bit of a practice right now. So if you just take 2 minutes with me. Take a deep breath. Release. In again for 1. Release for 3. Now I want you to think about something happy. The last time maybe you saw the sunshine, or just today, just think about today, just today alone. Think about what made you happy today. There must have been one thing that could have been happy today. Okay, you can put it in the chat, but you don't feel the need to. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm gonna think about what made me happy today. So I woke up in the morning, I had to go to work, and I decided that I was gonna take a bath. Hi, welcome, thank you for coming in. I decided I was gonna take a bath, so I put some magnesium salts, and I came out of the bath and felt really relaxed, and that made me happy. Also, when I ate, I had a really good breakfast, and I noticed that, oh man, that was so good. I was really, really happy about it. Now, as I'm going back to the thoughts, it's creating more happiness in my body. So what that tells me is we have the ability, okay, so if we think, we can feel, and it's almost like we create this loop. We think happy thoughts, we feel happy, that makes us think we're happy, and we kind of can remain in this space of bliss, right? Are there things that can affect how we feel happy or affect our joy? Of course, there are things that can affect it. But the whole key is practice, remaining, okay, in those 3 spirits, joy, peace, and love, which is what this is all about. And this is why I was sharing this today. So when we go to do our meditation, so for those of you who weren't able to see the last video, I broke down how the sessions are going to work. They are journaling sessions. They will start with welcome, and after the welcome we're going to do some breathing, and after the breathing we're going to go into a meditation space. A lot of people get iffy about meditation, they don't quite understand it. I think meditation is just giving yourself time to think and regulate your thoughts. So it's going to be a guided meditation. I'm going to lead you through that process. So when I do guided meditations, I tend to refer to neurotransmitters in that process. And as I said, we're going to be focusing on these 3 emotions or fruits of the spirit, if you like: peace, love, and joy, okay? So when we do the meditations, the whole idea is to be able to picture each emotion or each quantity, if you like. I think we can measure them in quantities, because I think you can estimate how happy you are, or how full of joy you are, or how full of love you are. So as a true scientist, of course I'm going to call it a quantity. So if I was to do a quick check, in terms of peace right now, if I'm being completely honest, I want to say my peace level is 65%. That's probably because I'm back at work. Love, I'm currently feeling about 85%. My joy is quite high today, actually. It hasn't been, but I just went on my friend Nengi's live, and her energy is so infectious. So my joy kind of like went up. So I want to say like my joy is maybe 79%. So this is my quick estimation right now. You could probably do that. You could probably sit down and just check, breathe, calm yourself down, and just ask, what levels am I at this current time? The reason why I'm asking this is because when we do the guided meditation, and you're going to see that over the next 21 days, we're going to sort of play with science a little bit, play with our minds, and we're going to merge these two ideas together, okay? So if we think about the neurotransmitters as chemical messengers, they can transfer signals. But if we started to picture in our mind, if you were to picture peace, I'm going to clean this up. If you were to have a picture of the emotion or the feeling of peace, what does it look like? So have a little think. What does peace look like in your mind right now? You can close your eyes, focus in. What does peace look like? What does it feel like? If you could touch it, what does it feel like? What words would you use to describe it? If you could taste it, what does peace taste like? Sorry, I'm asking these weird questions. Let's take it even one step further. What does it smell like? Okay. I'm going to explain how I picture peace in my mind. I'm going to try and draw it. Well, I don't think it works, but I kind of have like a floating ball, and it's a mixture of colors. It's like blue, but the center is like white, like a shining bright white, but it's blue. That's how I would picture peace in my mind, right? So we're going to take that idea, peace, however you picture it, and when we do the meditation, we're going to picture peace beginning to fill our neurons, from our brains right down to our neck, our shoulders, our back. And I kid you not, when you begin to practice peace filling up your body, you immediately feel your shoulders begin to relax, your back relaxes all the way down to your tiptoes, and you begin to become aware of what your body feels like when it's peaceful. Some people are already good at this. You might not need this 21-day challenge. Some people are already in touch with peace, love, and joy. However, unfortunately, there's a vast majority of us that don't know how to engage these three things and how to rest in those three things. We're always, hyper focused on the next goal, on the next thing to do. But hopefully after 21 days, you would become familiar with how to engage peace, love, and joy. And this is not anything spooky or anything of that sort. It's just using your imagination to bring rest back into your body. Okay. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about the mind and why I wanted to focus on meditation is that when we do the journaling prompts, we've split it into the body. I don't know if you can see that now. A mind. I'm going to take action and make notes of the things that make us feel peaceful in our body and the things that make us feel peaceful in our mind. I'm going to take responsibility of making a note of what those things are. So many people already naturally know how to engage and think, oh, I need a rest, I'm going to sleep. But a lot of people suffer from insomnia, so they haven't remembered, as it were, how to sleep because there's traumas that might be affecting them. Or if we look at joy, for example, some people think, oh, I'm sad, I want to feel happier, I'm going to go watch a football game, I'm going to watch comedy and make myself feel happy, I'm going to call a friend, etc., etc. But many people do not know the things that make them feel peace, make them feel love, or make them feel joy. So the reason why we're going to do the meditation is to remind our bodies and our minds, what does peace actually feel like? And if I can remember, if my body can remember what it means to be at rest, what it means to be peaceful, what it means to be not worried, then I can remember the things that make me feel peaceful. I can take a note of those things. I can actively seek out doing those things. So that's what the whole journey is going to be about. The same thing with love. If I can think about the things that make me feel love, you know, as a single girl in the UK, as a Nigerian Christian British single girl in the UK, as you notice, there's so many intersections. And even in my young, as I was a teenager, this concept of I'm looking for love. Hey, Maggie, thank you for coming around. There's this concept of, oh, I just want to be happy. I'm looking for love. I'm looking for my life partner. But actually, if we don't know how to generate this love within ourselves, it's very difficult. And if we don't know what true love actually feels like, it's actually then very difficult to notice when other people are loving us. So again, when we engage in the meditation, we remind our body, actually, what is true love? It is completely different from lust. Okay, so we're gonna really dissect what that word is, remind ourselves what it feels like to be loved, engage our brain, engage our neurons, engage our neurotransmitters to make us remember, oh, actually, this is what love feels like. I'm meant to be happy when I'm in love or when I love somebody. I'm meant to feel valued. There's meant to be joy. I'm meant to feel respected and seen, and equally I'm meant to respect another. I'm meant to see another, right? So that's what we're going to do in the meditation sessions. And then what you're then going to do is make notes, whether we engage peace that day or engage love or engage joy. You're going to make a note of how it felt in your body. So we'll do a reflection of how we feel before and after, to see, well, actually, before my meditation I felt like this, after my meditation I felt like that. More importantly, which I think this is the key tool, okay, we're going to make a list of things in our lives currently that make us feel love, joy and peace. So if we started with peace, for example, there's certain things that make me feel peaceful. I just described one earlier on. When I take a bath, it makes me feel peace. When I stare out a window, it makes me feel peaceful. When I listen to white noise like waves and the rain, for me, listening to the rain makes me feel peaceful because it's nostalgic for me. So I grew up in South Nigeria, and it was always raining, and very heavy. So you hear the rain on the zinc roof. But when it starts raining, everybody has to go inside, and often the electricity goes off, so you can't watch TV. Maybe you put on a candlelight and you just lie down. There's nothing to do. You lie down, maybe you talk to your family, you gist, we call it gisting, and just before you know what happens, I tend to sleep off anytime I think about the rain. So it's very nostalgic for me. And then it's a bit cold, so you cover yourself with a wrapper and it's quite snug. So thinking about the rain makes me feel peaceful. Now, notice that these things, so taking a bath is going to bring peace to my body. Staring out the window is going to bring peace to my body as well. However, thinking about the rain is a thought. It's not an actual active thing that I'm doing, right? So I'm not going into the bath. I'm not doing something physical. So it's bringing peace to my mind, actually. So if I am thinking about the rain, it brings peace to my mind. So we're going to go on this journey of identifying, first of all, what are these three emotions? Joy, the fruits of the spirit, joy, love, and peace. What are they actually? We do the meditation to remember our bodies, to remember what peace actually feels like, and give ourselves time. Remember what joy feels like, what it's meant to feel like, what love actually feels like. After we've done those meditations, we're going to take our time then, do a bit of reflection as to say, actually, what are the things that bring peace to my body? What are the things that bring joy to my body? What are the things that bring love to my body? And these are so simple. They're within reach. They're not far, right? Like, for example, giving a loved one a hug automatically gives love, but joy and peace, something so simple, right, can give you all three at the same time, depending on who you're hugging, depending on the relationship. Do you know that apparently the required amount of hugs, I think it's about 8 hugs that you're meant to be receiving every day? So we're going to make a list of all the activities that bring love, joy, and peace to our mind and to our bodies as well. Then hopefully we're going to take a step and say, if hugging my partner brings me joy and peace, I'm going to be proactive and make sure in this coming week, I'm going to hug them 3 times a day. Now, this is not going out to play football. This is not going out to watch a movie. This is something that is so practical, so within your reach, so influential, so impactful. And if you make a habit and a practice of looking for those things that are within your reach, within control, that can increase your peace, love, and joy, you're on your way to increasing these things within your life, improving your relationship with self, and having an overall better life, which is the whole aim. Where I've called the challenge "Change Your Life in 21 Days." But yeah, so I just wanted to explain a bit more tools. Tomorrow, I'm gonna come back on, I believe, but not at 6:30. It's gonna be a lot later. And we're going to look at some other concepts about the mind. Today, I just wanted to look at the physiology of how it all works. So let me give you a bit of a recap. This is the neuron. It's a cell in the brain and in your nervous system, found in your spinal cord. It's found everywhere, really. It sends signals right to your body on how it should feel, how it should respond. If you eat, for you to know that the food is enjoyable and tasty, that signals going from your receptors to your brain telling you, oh, this food was enjoyable. We also have these chemical messengers called neurotransmitters, and basically they load onto the dendrites of the cell, and that's how signals are transmitted through the body. However, depending on your mood, depending on the response, depending on the need of your body, that determines what neurotransmitters are going to be present. But we can kind of control that without thinking, right? So if we think happy, peaceful thoughts, we can load on our neurotransmitters, and that can send signals down and create a network of joy, happiness in our body. Okay? We're going to do a little bit more anatomy tomorrow, or physiology, sorry, not anatomy, physiology of the brain tomorrow. Not a lot, just again looking at neural pathways and how that kind of affects our emotions and stuff. The reason why I brought this on here is because we're going to be using meditation to bring down our mood, to really engage in the journaling prompt. And I'm going to be using the concept of engaging peace, love, and joy, and picturing them as a neurotransmitter saturating your brain. And as it saturates your brain, hopefully you're going to feel peace, love, and joy. And the reason why we engage with peace, love, and joy is to remind our bodies what it feels like to be at peace, what it feels like to be joyful, what it feels like to have true love, etc., etc. So when we do the meditation and remind our bodies how to do that, then we take a note of, actually, there are things in my life that make me feel peaceful, there are things in my life that make me feel love, there are things in my life that make me feel joy. And just making a list of what those things are and actively seeking them out. So that's what the whole journaling is going to be about. I'll stay on here for 30 minutes. I'm going to be disciplined. Can I just say thank you? I think we had about a couple of you come on earlier and, coming in and out. Thank you so much for sticking around. Honestly, this is something that I've practiced that I want to share with you. If you think it's worthwhile, please leave a comment, but also share this video with somebody you think might be struggling in their personal life and they just need something to help them regulate. Again, it's not a one-stop fix all. I said this in the last video. It's not a one-stop fix all, but it is something that you can start to try, okay, to help you and give you some understanding of who you are, etc., etc. But yeah, thank you for hanging around. I really appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, go check out my content. I've got some music stuff out. I have a bit of dating content out because I was actively dating, and I was sharing my experiences with you. I have some vlogs, some lifestyle vlogs, some travel content. And again, thank you so much for hanging around. Like, share, subscribe, and all the good things. And I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Take care now. Bye.